So you want to entertain an audience, right? You want to get them up at the front of the stage, have a lot of fun, singing along, dancing, clapping their hands, right? Key thing to remember is whenever you go up on stage, you need to know and you need to pay attention to what your audience is looking for from you. Let's talk about that. Welcome back to Danny Robertson Music, where we try to help you become the best possible performer that you can be on any stage you choose. Now become the performer that you're meant to be. I'm Danny Robertson. Thank you for joining me again this week. Today we're going to talk about understanding your audience. We're going to talk about understanding the needs that your audience, your fans, has of you in order to put on the best possible performance that entertains them and engages them in a way that makes them want to come back to the next show. So over my years performing, I've played and sang with a lot of talented musicians, singers, choirs, bands, done a lot of that kind of fun stuff. And I've noticed a couple of common trends. For one, most of the people I play with are extremely talented on their instrument. They are either fantastic singers, they're great soloists, or they're great team players when it comes to playing in a band. They know their instrument well and they can play it well. A good chunk of them, probably about 3 out of every 4, struggle with the ability to do anything else besides the music that they play. They play the music really well. They sing the songs really well. But when it comes to being visually entertaining on stage or making a real connection with their audience, their fans, they struggle. And it's really not that hard to do, but things like confusion about those situations or lack of confidence really affects their ability to make a real connection with their fans. So today let's talk about what your fans actually want from you on stage. We're going to talk about 5 different things that the typical spectator is looking for from the performer who's performing in front of them on stage. The first and most obvious thing that a fan or an audience member is probably looking for in your live show is your talent, your skills. They want to see the music performed well. They want to hear great singing, maybe some great harmonies. They want a well-executed piece of music, okay? That is probably what I would consider the base standard of what you need to put on a great show. You don't have to be perfect, because God knows I'm not, but you do need to be able to execute a reasonably good show musically. That means having things like the right amount of music for the length of time that the show is supposed to be, songs that reasonably are congruent with each other, they go together well, a well-mixed sound setup, that kind of thing. If you're starting your show out of tune or with an ear-piercing sound, you're going to struggle to get that first step done. Your audience wants to see your musical talent and skills. They want to see a well-executed show musically that sounds good. The second thing that your fans are looking for from you is entertainment value. They want to see a show to complement the great music and the talents that you have on stage musically. They want to see that also being entertained visually. Whether that means things like lighting or a special set design, special effects like fog machines and dry ice, well-executed dance moves, stage costumes, or just similar attire, matching attire for the band. That kind of stuff adds a visual element to the musical element that you're already providing. If you're not consistent between those two pieces, it shows that you might have one part of your show executed well and not another. A good way to work on this is whenever you're performing your show, take a look into a mirror and try to perform it in front of yourself. See what you look like when you're performing on stage. Hey performers, we'll get back to the video in just a hot second here, but I wanted to talk with you really quickly about your performance journey. Now, if you haven't noticed yet, at DannyRobertsonMusic.com, what we're trying to do is help you become a better overall entertainer. Whether that means getting better at your instrument, becoming a better public speaker, and becoming more entertaining for your audience to watch and participate with. We're trying to teach you how to do that better. If you're interested in diving deeper into this journey, I want to give you a free gift. I have a course out there called the Performer's Triangle, and it teaches you the basics about the pieces that you need in a great performance. It's available to you for free at the link below, and all you've got to do is put in your name and email, and we'll send you a link to it, okay? Let's work on making you into the best possible performer that you can be. Now let's get back to the video. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper than the face value stuff that you typically see from most live performers. Your audience is also looking for the real you. They want authenticity. They want to see your personality come out in the show so that they can feel like they're getting to know you a little bit. Audiences are looking for someone who's genuine and unique and expressive in the way that they think and feel. They're looking for a real person to latch on to. I'll give you an example of this. I saw the Eagles many, many years ago, and Glenn Frey, who was one of the singers and guitar players for a long time before he passed away, he was not feeling well the night of the show. And in the middle of the show, he did talk to the audience about how he wasn't feeling well. And so he was going to struggle with hitting some of the high notes that he would have to sing, but we were going to give it a try anyway. What that told me about Glenn Frey is that he is a real professional who, even though he probably didn't feel the best that day, still got up and performed a show and honestly did a fantastic job. Authenticity means that your audience gets to see the sides of you that maybe you don't even want to show. It involves allowing a little bit of vulnerability so that your audience can see a little bit of the real you. The fourth thing that your audience needs from you is engagement. They need you to tell them to come up and participate in the show. I've said this in other videos before. Talking to an audience is a lot like talking to a classroom of children. They need you to give them direction on what they're supposed to do for your show. Otherwise, they're going to just sit and watch. But if you want them to engage and participate, you need to coach them to do that. You need to ask them questions. You need to get them involved in the show. Have a few points where you invite them to sing along or dance along or get up closer to the stage, clap their hands, jump. It's a lot like being the coach for your audience. You just need to give them a few pointers on what they should be doing, and they'll get up and participate in your show. The last one is the most difficult one to talk about because it involves, like authenticity, your audience wants the real you. But what your audience is looking for is to create a deep connection with you. So you're looking to create emotional connection with your audience. You want your fan to be so emotionally involved in your show that they feel either extreme happiness or tears of joy or just a deep, profound love of what they experienced in your show. Let your audience find a way to connect with you on a deeper level. And that's different for everybody. I've previously talked in other videos about people like JoJo Siwa and Paul McCartney and different kinds of great performers. Performers like that find a point to let the audience and the performer create a closer bond by just having a small, deeper conversation somewhere in the middle of the show. You can do that at any level of performance, whether you are playing in coffee shops or giant stadiums. Slow down your show, be a little bit vulnerable, and have a real conversation with your audience. Let them know what you're thinking about life, tell them a story, find a way to create a deeper bond between you and your fan. So that's it for this week. Just remember that understanding your audience's needs, what your fans want, is the key to creating a much more engaged and loyal audience and fan base. Thanks for watching. I do hope you have a great next performance where you are able to implement some of this and make a better connection with your fans. So best of luck to you on your next performance, and I'll see you soon. Take care.